living conditions in the villages in Krakonoš mountains were very hard. The people here made their living by farming or weaving, but still they were very poor. At the end of the 19th century, one man learned how to produce blown glass beads in Jablonec nad Nisou and brought this new knowledge to Ponikla. During the years, the craft of blowing beads spread so much that almost all families in the village were involved in the production. Some people were glass blowers and other people did the silvering, some were cutting and stringing the beads. Originally, the beads were used only for costume jewelry, but when decorating Christmas trees became fashion, the glassmakers invented a new use for their tiny beads. They started to create Christmas ornaments from them. The beads were commonly used for the folk's costumes. They are very light, so they were often used in the headdress, like a bridal wreath or a bridal crown. The beads are a part of the embroideries too. The beads are made from a glass tube, which has to be warmed up above a burner. The glass blowing machine we use now is not very different from the original glass blowing machine from the 19th century. The only improvement is that we use gasoline instead of gas or petroleum now. The glass blowing machine contains a burner, a mold which has two parts and a pump and is operated by the leg of the glass blower. The first step of the pedal closes and opens the mold, and the second step closes the pump. Through the pump goes the air through into the hot glass tube, and the glass tube extends into the mold. The blown beads have to be silvered. A special solution is sucked into the rows of the beads. The whole reaction lasts for about 20 minutes. The originally transparent solution slowly turns black first, and then a silvery gloss appears. In the past, every bead-producing family carefully kept their secret formula for a silver solution. Today, we use such solutions which are more environment-friendly. This is the process of coloring the beads. It is very simple. You just take one glass stick after another and dip it into the lacquer. For smaller beads, we use those plasticine boards where you can put all the beads into the lacquer at once. Here we can see the difference between a bead which was silvered from the inside and a bead which was just dipped into the varnish. Here we can see the painting of the beads. We usually paint only bigger beads, which are used for the heads of the angels or as parts of a garland. Important is that every layer must be painted separately. That means that the painter has to take the stick with the beads, paint the eyes, for example, let it dry, then take it again, paint the nose, let it dry, and so on, depending of the number of the layers. Here it's very important that the beads were blown properly at the beginning, because they are still on one stick and will be divided first after the painting. That means if the beads will break after the painting, you will lose, or we will lose, the whole work which was done before. Another possibility how to decorate the glass beads is to use glitter. It is a very simple process. You just use a glue, you put the glue on the glass bead and then put a glitter on it. And on those places where the glue is, the glitter remains and the other parts of the bead stay clear. At this point, the beads are ready to be divided into single beads. For bigger beads, we use this cutting machine. For smaller beads, we use a simple knife. In the current production, we use old saved patterns as well as new designs. Blowing of the beads and the final assembly of the ornaments are traditionally a home-based work. We think that the way of manufacturing these ornaments could be inspiring for other cultures too, and that's why we would like to be inscribed on the prestigious UNESCO list.